I've often stood at the threshold of my own thoughts, marveling at how the world outside shifted as soon as I changed the conversation within. It's as if my imagination held a remote control, and every feeling I entertained pressed a button that rearranged reality itself. When we recognize that our inner world precedes the outer, we tap into a power both simple and profound. By shaping our thoughts and feelings first, we weave the fabric of our daily experience. Imagine for a moment that your mind is a fertile garden. Whatever seeds you plant, whether worry about bills, gratitude for small blessings, or bold visions of success, will sprout and grow until they blossom into events, people, or circumstances mirroring those very thoughts. If fear of lack takes root, life yields reminders of scarcity. An unexpected expense, a cold reply to a request, or a nagging sense of insecurity. But if you cultivate seeds of abundance, thoughts of ease, confidence in resources, and the certainty that solutions are already on their way, your garden will burst forth with opportunities that align with those nurturing beliefs. This principle isn't a vague suggestion, it's a practical law of mind. Every silent hour you spend rehearsing a desired outcome, feeling the relief of paid-off debt, tasting the freedom of extra income, sensing the joy of giving generously, sets invisible forces into motion. Your subconscious mind, ever obedient, recognizes these imagined states as real and begins to orchestrate external events that match them. It's as though the universe listens not to the words you speak aloud, but to the feelings you hold most dearly behind closed eyes. To put this into practice, start by noticing your habitual inner dialogue. Does your mind default to "I can't afford that," or "there's never enough"? Each time you catch a thought of limitation, pause and gently replace it with an image of abundance. Picture a specific financial goal, perhaps a sum you'd like to see in your bank account. Then dwell on the sensation of security and relief that comes when you know it's already there. Let that feeling wash through your body, the warm glow in your chest, the steady rhythm of confident breathing, the lightness in your step. By doing so, you program your subconscious to treat that state as your baseline reality. Consider, too, the power of inner conversation. When faced with a challenge, say a tight deadline or an unexpected bill, observe the words you use inside your head. Are they soaked in worry, or are they laced with calm assurance? If anxiety creeps in, imagine yourself responding with composed intuition. I have exactly what I need. The right solution is coming to me now. Speak it not as a hopeful wish, but as an unquestionable fact. Over time, this shifts your posture toward life's demands. You meet problems with creative resourcefulness instead of stress-driven reactivity. Helpful exercise is the imaginal scene. Each evening before sleep, find a quiet moment and conjure a brief movie of your chosen success. See yourself opening an email with good news, receiving a check in the mail, or signing a contract that elevates your career. Make every detail vivid, the color of the envelope, the texture of the paper, the tone of voice you use as you celebrate. Then, once the vision feels alive, let it fade gently and drift into sleep. Your subconscious mind, now steeped in that positive scene, continues to work on your behalf throughout the night, aligning unseen threads to bring that imagined reality into form. It's important to acknowledge that the outer world moves at its own pace. Resistance only breeds frustration. When impatience surfaces, why hasn't it happened yet? Remind yourself that timing is part of the unseen mechanics. Persistence in the imagined state, without clinging to a specific timetable, fosters a relaxed expectancy that invites rather than repels progress. Trust grows when you celebrate small confirmations, a helpful conversation, a sudden idea, or a minor financial gain. Each one is a signpost showing that the larger picture is unfolding. Another dimension of this principle lies in emotional balance. While it's tempting to oscillate between hope and doubt, true mastery comes when you maintain equanimity. Imagine you're steering a ship. Excitement is the wind that fills your sails, but ironclad calm is the rudder that keeps you on course. If you let anxiety hijack your focus, you drift off your intended path. Instead, anchor yourself in the knowing that everything is shaping itself in perfect order, even if the details are yet unseen. As you grow in this awareness, notice how relationships shift too. Colleagues who once seemed indifferent begin to offer support. Opportunities that felt hidden emerge through casual invitations or chance encounters. These aren't miracles granted to a lucky few. They are the natural harvest of an inner state consistently aligned with abundance. You become, in effect, a magnet for circumstances that echo your own inner convictions. Finally, remember that recognizing the primacy of the inner world is an act of self-love as much as it is a creative practice. By investing time each day to shape your thoughts with care, you treat yourself as a beloved dream worthy of fulfillment. You step into a partnership with your own higher intelligence and the universal principle that mind molds matter. In doing so, you claim the authority to script your life story, one thought, one feeling, one imagined scene at a time. Embrace the truth that nothing appears outside before taking form within. As you tend to that inner landscape, planting seeds of abundance, revising limiting memories, and anchoring yourself in gratitude, you will witness a world transforming in perfect reflection of your highest aspirations. The outside is merely a canvas, showing the watercolor shades of your imagination. Choose your palette wisely and allow your life to become the masterpiece you've long envisioned. Imagine awakening before dawn, the world hushed in a soft velvet of night, and instead of reaching for your phone, you stay cradled in the quiet warmth of your bed. In that sacred space between sleep and wakefulness, you breathe deeply and picture gentle rays of gold light seeping through your window, pooling at your feet and spreading across the covers. As the first hint of sunrise brushes your room, see those golden beams transforming into a cascade of coins, each one luminous, warm, and familiar. Feel their smooth weight in your hand even though your eyes remain closed. In this golden morning exercise, you aren't merely playing with fantasy. You're engaging the language of your subconscious, which responds far more vividly to the textures of feeling than to words alone. As you lie still, allow the coins to multiply around you, stacking higher until the surface of your bed ripples under their gentle clinking. Listen carefully. Each slight chime is a note in your personal symphony of abundance. Let it remind you that wealth is not just numbers on a ledger, but a sensory experience. Something you can actually hold, hear, and trust. Notice the warmth radiating from the coins. It's the glow of security, the comfort of knowing your needs are met, and the quiet joy of unlimited possibility. By imbuing this scene with such tangible details, you bypass the critical mind, the part that doubts or questions, and speak directly to the fertile depths where belief takes root. Once the image feels alive in your imagination, invite a gentle smile to surface. Let that smile travel through your body, loosening any clenched thoughts of lack or fear. It's as though you are greeting an old friend, one who has always been by your side, patiently waiting for you to remember. This friendliness toward yourself is crucial. When you approach abundance with warmth rather than desperation, you align with the universal flow that knows how to deliver without resistance. Think of your own kindness in tending to this mental garden. Every moment spent cultivating positive images is a moment spent nurturing the life you intend to live. Slowly, shift your awareness to the rhythm of your breath. Inhale through your nose as if drawing in the shimmering gold, and exhale any residue of worry or tightness. With each cycle, feel the scene grow more vivid. Shadows dissolve, the coins gleam brighter, and the sense of relief swells in your chest. This rhythmic dance between image and breath is not merely a relaxation technique, it's a bridge connecting conscious desire to subconscious fulfillment. Over time, your mind learns that the sensation of abundance is not reserved for some future day. It is this very moment, shaped by your deliberate focus and feeling. As the sun edges higher, imagine the light transforming the coins into opportunities. An unexpected invitation to pitch an idea, a text confirming a bonus, a casual mention of a job opening. See these possibilities swirling around your bedside like fireflies attracted to the golden glow. This expansion from static imagery to dynamic potential is the heart of the golden morning exercise. You are training yourself to perceive real-life openings as extensions of your imagined reality. When you step out of bed, carry that expectancy into your day. Notice how your posture shifts. Shoulders more relaxed, chin lifted, and how your voice carries a subtle undertone of confidence that naturally draws others in. Now consider the practical side. Choose 3 tangible actions you can take after this exercise to honor the energy you've generated. Perhaps you check your bank balance with gratitude, send a brief note of appreciation to a supportive colleague, or jot down one inspired idea that came to mind during your visualization. These small steps are not attempts to force results. They are respectful acknowledgments that the universe is at work on your behalf. By partnering imaginative practice with real-world gestures, you reinforce the bridge between inner conviction and outer manifestation, allowing momentum to build effortlessly. It's common for skeptics, for the habitual self-doubter within to whisper, "This is too fanciful. It won't translate into real wealth." When that whisper arises, pause and observe it without judgment. Then return to your golden morning scene, perhaps dialing up the vividness. Notice the specific denomination of one coin, the way light refracts through a nearby glass of water, or the soft texture of the sheets beneath your hand. The more detail you weave in, the less room there is for doubt to linger. Think of doubt as a passing cloud. Your detailed imagery is the clear sky behind it, always present and unchanging. After a week or two of daily practice, reflect on any subtle shifts you've noticed. Maybe you feel a deeper sense of ease when reviewing financial statements, or opportunities seem to pop into your awareness with surprising frequency. These early signs are like seedlings breaking through soil, small but significant. Celebrate them, even if they feel minor. Gratitude for these initial sprouts fuels your practice and underscores the educational truth that consistent inner work reliably yields outer results. You're learning a new skill, the art of living from abundance rather than scarcity. Finally, remember that this exercise is a gift you give yourself each morning. It sets the tone for how you engage with the world, bright, expectant, and open to possibility. The golden morning is more than a ritual. It's a declaration to your subconscious that you choose prosperity as your default state. Over time, this choice becomes as habitual as waking up itself, transforming your attitude toward money from reactionary to visionary. Embrace each dawn as an opportunity to renew your commitment to abundance and watch as the magic of your imagination unfolds in every corner of your life. I once found myself pacing the worn planks of a small balcony at dawn, watching the city awaken below. My pockets were emptier than my hopes, yet I noticed something strange as I closed my eyes and recalled the feeling of walking unburdened, shoulders relaxed, heart light, a soft smile playing on my lips. The very act of remembering shifted something inside me. In that fleeting moment, I tasted freedom itself, and I understood that wealth begins not with coins counted, but with an emotion cherished. We often equate riches with bank balances, ledgers, and external proof, yet true abundance is a state of being, a deep knowing that life's offerings are limitless. When you anchor prosperity in emotion, you rewire your perception so that every moment becomes a testament to your inner security. The world then mirrors back opportunities, resources, and support because you have first declared within yourself that you deserve all good things. Feelings are the language of the subconscious, speaking far louder than intellectual affirmations alone. A thought may whisper, "I want more," but a feeling declares, "I already have more." By cultivating the sensation of financial freedom through imagining a confident stride on an open road, the gentle lift of worry from your chest, the warm swelling from acts of giving, you lay a foundation so sturdy that doubt finds no purchase. Begin by recalling a time when you felt truly at ease with money. Perhaps you received an unexpected gift, or you closed a deal that felt effortless. Revisit that memory in vivid detail, the way the light hit the room, the scent of your surroundings, the subtle change in your breathing as stress melted away. Place your awareness in your body and notice the sensations. Electric energy behind the eyes, soft openness in the shoulders, a steady pulse at the heart. These physical markers become your emotional anchors. Once you've dialed into that state, practice weaving these sensations into your daily rhythm as you move through routine tasks, brushing your teeth, making morning tea, answering an email. Briefly pause and breathe into the remembered ease. Allow a smile to form, not forced, but emerging naturally from the warmth you've evoked. With each repetition, you stitch the fabric of prosperity more tightly into your subconscious so that it no longer feels foreign, but familiar. Before sleep, immerse yourself once more. Lie down comfortably, close your eyes, and bring forth a scene in which you are already living your desired financial reality. See yourself exchanging friendly banter with a benefactor, receiving a check with genuine surprise and gratitude, or donating joyfully to someone in need. Feel the swelling pride, the satisfaction of having choices, the gentle settling of security in your chest. Let this emotional impression linger as you drift into slumber, trusting that your subconscious mind continues to knit external circumstances to match your inner blueprint. Scientific studies show that when we repeatedly engage certain feelings, neural pathways strengthen, making those states more accessible and predominant. By habitually rehearsing abundance, you train your brain to scan for congruent evidence in waking life. Suddenly you notice ideas that once passed unseen, a side gig suggestion from a friend, a chance networking event, a sale on a course that expands your skill set. Each discovery feels like confirmation. reinforcing the emotional anchor you've set. Yet old habits die hard. When scarcity thoughts creep in, I don't have enough, I can't afford that. Immediately practice the pivot technique. Stop yourself mid-thought, inhale deeply, and call to mind your anchored sensation of plenty. Picture that confident stride, taste the warmth of envelopes filled with checks, feel the uplift of generosity. By interrupting scarcity's momentum, you prevent it from overwhelming your emotional current. Complement this inner work with a simple gratitude ritual. Each evening, jot down 3 moments from your day when you glimpsed abundance, not in amounts received, but in feelings experienced. Maybe it was the relief of finding an extra hour, the joy in a friend's encouragement, or the peace of covering a small expense without worry. Writing these down wires your mind to seek out and magnify those emotions, making abundance a lens through which you view every event. Generosity itself becomes a powerful emotional amplifier. When you give time, attention, or resources, you experience firsthand the joy of overflow. That warmth radiates through your being, anchoring the belief that there is always more to share. Ironically, this act of giving often triggers reciprocal flows, drawing unexpected returns that feel like blessings springing directly from your own kindness. Challenges will test your emotional resolve. A sudden bill or a missed opportunity may stir doubt. In those moments, recall your anchored feeling as if pressing play on an inner recording. Feel the shift in your posture, shoulders drop, breath steadies, eyes soften. These are not mere coping tactics, but deliberate acts of alignment, reminding both you and the unseen forces that your chosen state remains unshaken. Over time, you'll notice a curious transformation. Your day becomes a dance of synchronicities, each step guided by the emotion you've cultivated. You'll meet people whose ethos resonates, discover ventures that match your vision, and feel inner prompts nudging you toward choices that expand your sense of wealth. All because you planted an emotional seed and tended it with unwavering attention. Anchoring abundance in emotion is not a quick fix. It's an education of the heart and mind working in concert. As you embrace this practice, you reclaim the creative power to design your reality from its most fertile soil. Through the simple act of feeling rich before the word confirms it, you draw life into harmony with your vision, one heartfelt moment at a time. I once sat alone on a quiet evening, replaying a moment when I'd felt the sting of rejection. An application turned down, a door closed with heavy certainty. The memory was so vivid that my chest tightened each time I recalled it. Then, almost on a whim, I closed my eyes and let the scene unfold differently. Instead of a curt refusal, I imagined receiving a letter of congratulations, the ink shimmering with praise for my work. In that instant, the old discomfort melted away, replaced by a warm glow of possibility. This simple act of revision taught me that by rewriting past events in our imagination, we can reshape the emotional blueprint of our present. Every experience we hold is like a brushstroke on the canvas of our mind. Left unattended, the darker shades of disappointment or fear can dominate, influencing our future decisions. But when we approach those same moments with creative intention, editing them until they reflect success and encouragement, we send a powerful signal to our subconscious. It begins to regard the revised scenario as genuine, weaving new patterns of thought that align with confidence and expectation rather than regret. In essence, we become authors of our own history, choosing which stories we carry forward. To begin, identify a memory tied to financial struggle or limitation. Perhaps a missed opportunity to earn, a difficult negotiation, or a moment when you felt unworthy of abundance. Give yourself permission to revisit it, even if it stirs discomfort. As you settle into a calm, relaxed state, let the scene replay in your mind's eye, exactly as it happened. Notice the details, the colors, the sounds, the sensations in your body. Acknowledging the original story fully is essential. It creates the contrast that makes the revision so potent. Next, gently introduce your desired outcome into the scene. Imagine the moment unfolding just as you wish. The supportive nod instead of rejection, the raised hand offering congratulations, the handshake that seals a promising deal. Engage all your senses. See the light reflecting off the envelope. Hear the genuine warmth in the other person's voice. Feel the firm grip of their hand. Taste the relief on your tongue. The richer and more precise these details, the more deeply your subconscious absorbs the new narrative as truth. As you replay the revised memory, allow yourself to feel the emotions as though it truly occurred. Let gratitude swell in your chest, a soft smile embrace your lips, and calm assurance settle into your heart. These feelings anchor the new version of events, bypassing any skeptical resistance from your conscious mind. Emotions are the language your deeper self understands. By matching the emotional intensity of the original memory, you ensure the revision holds equal weight in your psyche. Practice this revision daily, ideally before sleep, when the boundary between waking and dreaming is most porous. In those moments, the subconscious mind is primed to absorb suggestions without interference. Lie comfortably, close your eyes, and breathe gently as you guide the original memory toward its edited conclusion. If doubts arise, this didn't really happen, simply note them without judgment, then return to the vivid sensory details until the revised version replaces any lingering uncertainty. Over time, you will notice subtle shifts in your daily life. Perhaps a long-awaited opportunity surfaces, or conversations that once felt strained flow with unexpected ease. These are not coincidences, but the natural ripples of your inner edit taking form. By revising your past, you reprogram the filter through which you interpret current events, allowing more possibilities to register your awareness. What once seemed locked behind walls now appears as doors waiting to be opened. Some days you may feel resistance, as if a part of you is reluctant to erase the old story. This is the voice of habit, the mind clinging to familiar patterns, even when they no longer serve you. In those moments, practice compassion towards yourself. Gently remind that inner skeptic that you are not denying life's lessons, but choosing to emphasize the empowering ones. Every revision is an act of self-care, honoring your growth by granting yourself the gift of a more supportive narrative. To deepen the practice, pair revision with journaling. After each session, write a brief account of the newly imagined scenario, noting the emotions you experienced. Describe what success felt like, how your posture shifted, and any intuitive ideas that arose during the exercise. This written record becomes a tangible artifact of your desired reality, a roadmap you can revisit on days when doubt threatens to distract you. The act of writing reinforces the new memory, bridging imagination and conscious awareness. As you continue, consider extending revision beyond singular memories to broader themes. Your attitude toward money, your beliefs about worthy success, or even ancestral patterns of scarcity. Choose recurring doubts or fears and replay key moments through the lens of empowerment. Over months, you'll see how rewriting these central narratives transforms not just isolated events, but the very atmosphere of your daily experience. Abundance ceases to feel like a distant promise and becomes a lived reality. Remember that this process is not about escaping life's challenges, but about mastering the creative faculty within you. By revising the past, you're not ignoring lessons learned. You're integrating them into a foundation of strength and possibility. Each rewritten memory strengthens your inner resolve, building a subconscious architecture designed to support your highest aspirations. In this way, you reclaim the authority to craft your story, one imaginative stroke at a time, and invite wealth to become your most natural state of being. I still recall the first time I tried the nightly gratitude ritual. It was simple. Almost too simple. Just 3 quick notes before sleep. But the shift it sparked in me felt nothing short of miraculous. As I lay in bed, pen in hand, I searched my day for moments that had made me smile. The warmth of sunshine on my face during my afternoon walk, the unexpected kindness of a stranger who held open a door, and the gentle ease with which I found a solution to a small work challenge. In writing these down, I felt an undercurrent of something profound. An invisible thread weaving contentment into the fabric of my mind. Over the following nights, this practice became a gateway into an inner world where blessings abounded. Rather than focusing on lack, my attention turned to generosity all around me. The way a friend's laughter filled a room, the satisfaction of completing a task I'd once dreaded, or even the simple luxury of a hot cup of tea on a cool evening. Each jotting of gratitude was like planting a new seed in fertile soil. As I slept, that soil brimmed with the promise of more to come. Science tells us that gratitude rewires the brain, strengthening neural pathways associated with positivity, optimism, and resilience. When you direct your awareness toward what's already good, in practical terms, this means that as you grow accustomed to noticing small joys, you start seeing them everywhere. In a helpful email, an unexpected idea for earning, or a door opening you didn't even know existed. I noticed a tangible change in how I encountered opportunities. One evening, after listing 3 simple gifts, a compliment from my manager, a smooth commute home, and a delicious dinner, I awoke with a new idea for a side project. It felt as if those moments of gratitude had cleared a path for inspiration to flow. That project later blossomed into a steady income stream I never saw coming, and it all began with the habit of zeroing in on the good before sleep. To make the practice stick, I recommend using a dedicated gratitude notebook, something you look forward to opening each night. As you write, allow your thoughts to pause on each moment until you feel the warmth or relief associated with it. Describe not only what happened, but how it felt, the surge of pride in a small achievement, the soft comfort of a caring word, or the subtle spark of excitement when a door of possibility cracked open. These emotional details anchor the experience more deeply in your psyche. Consistency is key. Even on days when joy seems scarce, challenge yourself to find three things: the softness of your pillow, the fact that your heart still beats with hope, or the way the moonlight slips through your window. By doing so, you train your mind to honor life's simplest pleasures and to recognize abundance as the water in which we all swim. Over time, this habit becomes so ingrained that gratitude flows automatically, reshaping your default perspective. Finally, watch for the ripple effects. As your mindset tilts toward abundance each night, you'll carry that energy into your waking hours. Conversations become friendlier, decisions more courageous, and stumbling blocks appear as lessons rather than setbacks. The world itself seems to catch your wavelength, responding in kind with new pathways to prosperity. By making gratitude a nightly lantern, you light the way to possibilities that once lay hidden in shadow, and discover that the richest treasures are often found in the smallest acknowledgments of the day just past. I used to think doubt was harmless, a fleeting cloud across a bright sky. But then I noticed how a single anxious whisper could grow into a roaring storm of what-ifs, uprooting every hopeful thought I carefully planted. One afternoon, while tending my small balcony garden, I paused to observe how a few stray weeds, left unchecked, had already begun choking the new seedlings. In that moment, it struck me: our minds are no different. If we allow seeds of doubt, thoughts like, "I can't do this," or "I'm not ready," to take root, they'll overrun the fertile ground where confidence and creativity belong. Imagine your mind as that garden. Rows of tender sprouts representing your dreams and intentions. Each seed you sow, images of wealth, well-being, and purpose, needs sunlight and water in the form of focused attention and positive feeling. But doubts are like invasive weeds, sending out runners that fan across the soil, stealing nutrients and blocking the light. Unless you vigilantly recognize and remove these intruders, they thrive, feeding on your energy until the sprouts you cherish wither and die. The first step is awareness. Simply noticing the moment a doubtful thought arises gives you power over it. When you catch yourself thinking, "What if this fails?" or "Who am I to claim success?" pause mid-breath and label it, "Here is a doubt." A gardener doesn't ignore a weed, they acknowledge it, then take action. In your mental garden, that action can be as simple as shifting your focus, calling to mind an instance when you felt capable, recalling a small victory that reminds you of your innate strength. Once you've identified doubt, uproot it with deliberate counter-imagery. Replace "I can't" with a clear, confident scene. See yourself navigating the challenge effortlessly. Hear the tone of satisfaction in your own voice. Feel the proud lift of your chest. The more sensory richness you bring to this replacement image, the more effectively you choke off the weed at its root. Over time, your mind learns which images receive your attention and which are starved of resources, so only those you nurture flourish. It's also vital to establish daily rituals that reinforce the garden's health. Begin each morning with a brief review of your strongest, most empowering images. Moments when you felt sure of success. Times when opportunities flowed with surprising ease. As you revisit these inner highlights, notice how your posture shifts. Shoulders relaxing, head tilting slightly upward, breath deepening. These physical cues send chemical messages throughout your body, further cementing the mental transformation. Equally important is cultivating patience and compassion toward yourself. Just as no living garden is free from every stray sprout, you will occasionally find doubt sneaking in. When this happens, resist the urge to criticize yourself. Instead, gently remove the thought. Imagine plucking a tender shoot and replace it with a positive image or a short affirmative phrase spoken with feeling, such as "I trust my path," or "Opportunities flow to me." This gentle correction is kinder and more effective than self-reproach, which only splinters your focus and weakens your resolve. Finally, enlist external supports as you would choose high-quality compost for your soil. Surround yourself with reminders of possibility. Write uplifting phrases on sticky notes. Play music that lifts your spirit, or share your intentions with a trustworthy friend who can cheer you on when doubt strikes. These supports act like nutrients, buffering your mental garden against adverse conditions and ensuring that your chosen visions have the richest environment in which to grow. By guarding your mental garden with the same care you'd give a precious plot of land, you transform doubt from a crippling force into a signal, a reminder to return to the images you truly desire. Each time you clear away a weed of uncertainty, you make room for fresh shoots of creativity, confidence, and abundance. In that cultivated space, your dreams are not just possible, they become inevitable expressions of the life you've chosen to tend with thought and feeling alive. I once stood on the edge of a quiet lake at dawn, watching mist rise in delicate swirls above the water's surface. In that stillness, I realized that most of life's most wondrous processes happen beyond our sight. Roots drawing nutrients deep in the soil, the slow unfolding of petals before they bloom, currents gathering strength beneath the lake's mirrored surface. In the same way, the mechanics that bring wealth into our lives often operate in hidden realms, weaving together ideas, connections, and opportunities long before we glimpse their effects in the physical world. It begins with an inner conviction, a silent knowing that whatever we hold clearly in mind is already taking shape. When you imagine your desired outcome with feeling, you set a seed in motion within a network of unseen forces. These forces move like currents in the ocean of consciousness, guiding the energy of your intention toward eventual manifestation. The key is not to ask how or when, but simply to trust that these invisible currents are orchestrating events on your behalf. Think of a time when you navigated a difficult situation almost effortlessly. Perhaps a chance encounter with someone who offered vital assistance, or a sudden idea that solved a nagging problem. On the surface, it felt like coincidence or luck, but behind the scenes, subtle alignments were at play. Someone heard your unspoken need and took action. An article you read sparked the perfect insight. A friend's offhand suggestion opened a door. Each instance is a demonstration of unseen mechanics responding to your internal state. To cultivate trust in these processes, start by observing small synchronicities in your daily life. When you find yourself thinking of a particular resource or collaborator and then promptly encounter it, pause to acknowledge the invisible hand at work. Jot down these little confirmations in a notebook. Nothing too elaborate, just a simple record of how your inner focus preceded an outer event. Over time, this journal becomes a testament to the reliability of unseen mechanics, strengthening your faith in the method. Next, practice a brief quiet alignment each morning. Before diving into your day's tasks, sit for a few moments with eyes closed and breathe slowly, imagining the fulfillment of your financial goals. Feel the calm trust that those goals are already being arranged behind the scenes. You don't need to visualize every detail. Rather, focus on the sensation of alignment, an inner harmony that transcends visible struggle. By doing this regularly, you train your mind to treat the unseen mechanics as an integral part of your routine. Another practical exercise is to set intention reminders throughout your environment. Place a small object, a crystal, a photo, a written phrase, somewhere you'll see it often. When you notice it, take a brief mental step back from the noise of daily tasks and reaffirm, I trust that the necessary channels are opening for my prosperity. This momentary pause interrupts doubt and reconnects you with the deeper assurance that your vision is being supported by forces beyond the five senses. It's natural to question this process, especially when immediate results don't appear. In those moments, remind yourself that seeds germinate at different rates and that the universe's timing may not match your impatience. Imagine the unseen gardener patiently tending the roots. Unseen but indispensable. Doubt is like a sudden frost that can harm tender shoots. So when skepticism arises, gently return to your inner alignment practice, breathing, feeling, and trusting, rather than falling into analysis paralysis about why nothing has happened yet. As your trust deepens, you'll begin to notice a shift in how you perceive obstacles. What once seemed like dead ends transform into pivot points. Courses corrected by the invisible mechanics for your highest good. A cancelled meeting might divert you to a more fruitful collaboration. A delayed payment could free up your attention for a more lucrative opportunity. By viewing these events through the lens of unseen orchestration, you maintain a buoyant expectancy rather than a fearful reaction. Finally, celebrate the confirmations, no matter how small. When an invoice clears, a proposal gets accepted, or a new idea lights up your mind, take a moment to express gratitude, not just for the result, but for the unseen forces that made it possible. Gratitude acts as a powerful amplifier, signaling to those same mechanics that you appreciate their role in your journey and are ready for more. And over time, this cycle of trust, confirmation, and gratitude creates a self-reinforcing loop, deepening your reliance on the invisible currents that shape your abundant reality. In the end, the unseen mechanics of wealth are no mystery. They are the natural response to a mind and heart fully aligned with its desires. By acknowledging and nurturing your role within this hidden flow, through observation, practice, and appreciation, you step into a partnership with the forces that animate every success. Like the roots of trees that lift sap unseen into branches, these mechanics carry your intentions into form. Trust them, and you'll find that the universe delights in delivering the riches you've courageously imagined. I once caught myself tapping my foot impatiently as I stared at my empty inbox, convinced that if I didn't see a new opportunity by morning, nothing would ever change. Instead of stewing in frustration, I decided to turn the whole experience into a game. That night, I imagined myself awaiting a letter delivered by a friendly courier who arrived at my door with a golden envelope. I pictured the courier tipping his hat with a knowing smile before handing it to me, and I laughed at the sheer delight of inventing such a scene. When I awoke, there it was, an email with a surprising offer that set my plans into motion. That playful expectancy taught me a powerful truth. Persistence need not be grim or forceful, but can bloom naturally when we hold our vision with light-hearted faith. When you persist with playful expectancy, you transform each effort into an invitation rather than a battle. Instead of dragging yourself through each morning ritual with gritted teeth and endless rehearsals of "I must succeed," you adopt a childlike curiosity. You wake wondering, what delightful surprise will today bring? That shift in attitude signals to your subconscious mind that you trust the process, and it in turn orchestrates circumstances in kind. Science reveals that our brains mirror the emotions we nurture. By playing the game of expectancy, picturing your desired outcome with a wink and a grin, you prime neural pathways for creativity, resilience, and a keen eye for opportunity. Consider how a comedian hones their craft. They rehearse jokes not with dread of failure, but with playful experimentation, adjusting timing and tone until laughter emerges. Your imagination deserves the same treatment. Treat your goal, whether it's a new client, a financial breakthrough, or a creative partnership, as the punchline you're tuning. Each day, spend a few minutes imagining the moment you achieve it, infusing the scene with lighthearted details, the texture of the chair you'll sit in, the sparkle in your eyes as the news unfolds, even the small chuckle you may let slip. This playful rehearsal deepens your emotional connection to the goal without burdening you with undue seriousness. Playfulness also softens resistance. When you clutch too tightly to an outcome, anxiety seeps in, tightening muscles and clouding judgment. By contrast, a playful stance keeps you relaxed and open. Imagine you're holding a balloon filled with your dreams. You cradle it gently rather than gripping it so fiercely that it bursts. This gentle grip of expectancy allows the universe, often composed of subtle coincidences, chance conversations, and unexpected nudges, to guide your balloon along breezes you never noticed when you were stiff with worry. To cultivate this habit, introduce a simple daily exercise I call the morning wink. Upon waking, before the day's demands cascade, close your eyes for a breath or two and picture one small sign of success you'd like to see. A message from a potential collaborator, a sale notification, or a casual compliment about your work. Imagine it arriving with a playful flourish, a confetti popper in your mind, a wink from an imaginary friend, or a ripple of golden light. Smile as you feel the scenario, even if it feels whimsical. Then carry that feeling into your first cup of coffee or tea, savoring the warmth, as if it's a toast to the promise you've set in motion. Another way to reinforce playful expectancy is through expectation anchors. Choose an object that resonates with joy, a smooth pebble, a brightly colored pen, or a small toy, and keep it within arm's reach. Whenever doubt or impatience flickers, touch your anchor and recall the playful scene you created that morning. Let the memory tickle you, easing tension and inviting that light-hearted trust back into your posture and breath. Over time, the anchor becomes a gateway to expectancy, effortlessly shifting your mindset whenever you need a dose of cheer. Playful persistence also involves celebrating each micro-success, no matter how small. Perhaps an hour flies by as you work without distraction, or you receive a brief but positive reply to an outreach email. These moments are like breadcrumbs leading you toward your goal. Pause to acknowledge them. A quick grin, a whispered thank you, or a small fist pump. By doing so, you reinforce the idea that progress is not only about the grand arrival, but also about the delightful steps along the way. Each celebration fuels your enthusiasm, making the journey itself a source of joy rather than a mere obstacle to overcome. Sometimes, life throws curveballs that threaten to deflate even the most buoyant spirit. In those moments, lean into playfulness as your cushion. If an opportunity falls through, imagine it morphing into something new, a door that spins you around into a brighter room, or a friendly guide tapping you on the shoulder and pointing toward an unexpected path. Sketch the scenario briefly in your mind, infusing it with humor. Perhaps the guide wears a jaunty hat or the path is lined with lanterns shaped like your favorite symbols. This creative detour reminds your mind that every setback is merely another twist in the story, not the final chapter. Persistent action remains essential. You still take the steps required to send proposals, attend meetings, or refine your skills. But rather than trudging through these tasks under the weight of necessity, you approach them with the lightness of a player in a grand adventure. You know you are doing what you must, and yet you also trust that the joyful energy you invest will magnetize the very opportunities you seek. Ultimately, playful expectancy is a dance of faith and enjoyment. It's an affirmation that you believe in your vision and are willing to invite it into existence with a smile. By persisting in this spirit, you align your emotions, actions, and imagination in a harmonious rhythm that coaxes the universe to join your jubilation. And when your awaited moment arrives, whether with a grand flourish or a gentle knock, you'll be ready not only to receive it, but to celebrate the playful past that brought you there. And so as you carry these practices into your daily life, whether greeting each morning with golden visions, declaring your abundance before the mirror, revising old limitations, or anchoring gratitude into your heart, you begin to live from a place of creative empowerment rather than reactive struggle. When you tend your mental garden with care, uprooting doubt and trusting the unseen currents, persistence becomes a joyful dance of expectation. Each exercise is a thread in the tapestry of your prosperity, weaving feeling into form until the riches you once imagined stand before you as tangible reality. Embrace this journey with warmth and curiosity, knowing that every playful rehearsal, every moment of heartfelt gratitude, and every confident declaration is an invitation for wealth to unfold in perfect harmony with your deepest vision.